Next, I'm going to write the unit tests for the service layer related to the order service IMPL class. We already wrote the unit test for the status service IMPL. So let's do it for the order service IMPL also. We have to provide the status, customer ID, and staff ID for the order. So let's create a status object in the setup method. Let me pass that created status into this. And we will have to add a status DTO object also. I added the customer ID and staff ID as both 1L. And let's create a order DTO object as well. we will have to add the build annotation from Lombok. Then we can use the builder. I will add the status DTO to the order DTO. Next, I'm going to write the JUnit test case for the get order by ID method and positive scenario. Let me write the precondition. So first I can give order repository dot find by ID. So we have to add an order ID first. Next, let's write the when section. Here, in our order service IMPL, the get order by ID method returns a custom order response instead of a order DTO because we changed the method to return a custom order response DTO object. That returning custom order response DTO object contains a customer DTO object and a staff DTO object. So now I'm going to add a customer DTO object and a staff DTO object to the test class. Let me first add a reference for the customer DTO. Now I'm adding a reference for the staff DTO as well. Before go ahead and create the customer DTO object and staff DTO object in the setup method. First I will have to add the build annotation. for both classes. I will give a custom ID as well. So in the order object and order DT objects, we have given the custom ID with value 1L. So I'm going to add the same custom ID here. And next I will create the staff DT object. I'm going to give the staff ID as 1L because we have added the staff ID here as 1L in the order and the order DT objects. Okay, it should be the staff DTO. So we have created the customer DTO and staff DTO objects to be used in our JUnit test case. Here in this call, order service.getOrderById call, it should return a custom order response DTO object. So I will change here custom order response DTO. So this custom order response DTO object should contain a staff DTO object and customer DTO object uh, like this in addition to the order DTO object. And if we look at our get order by ID method to get the customer DTO object and get the staff DTO object, we are using API client and API staff client, which are of type API client and API staff client. So we need to inject those into our uh, order service test class with @mock annotation. Now inside the test case, we have to write another given statement. Here we have to call the API client dot get customer by ID, and the parameter for that get customer by ID should be the customer ID associated with the order. So let me use order DTO dot get order customer ID, and then it should return a customer DTO object. So that customer DTO object is this. Similarly, we have to write another given statement here, API staff client, and it is going to call get staff by ID, and the parameter should be the staff ID associated with the order DTO. So I will get the staff ID from order DTO dot get order staff ID, and then it should return the staff DTO object, that is this one. So our given section is complete. So we have specified all the stubbed calls, and now in the when section we are calling the actual method, that is get order by ID method of the order service IMPL, and it is returning a custom order response DTO. So in the then section we'll call the assert that, and I'm going to use the return custom order response, and it should be not null. Let's run the test case. Test case is passed. Next, I will create the JUnit test case for the um, update order method. Let's run the test case. So we are getting an error, like we are getting test case failed. So it is pointing to the update order method. So in update order method, we have this set order status, and this set order status setter method. Inside that, we are using model mapper.map to convert a status DTO object to a status object. But in our do return, we have not specified that. And in here also, we can see like model mapper.map. So it is pointing to this status DTO. And so let's add one more do return here. This time we should add status as the return value. And when we pass a status DTO to the map method, it should return a status. So that's what we do in our update order method of the order service IMPL. We are converting a status DTO to a status object. So let's run the test case again. Now the test case is passed. So the next method is delete order method. I'm going to write the unit test for the delete order method. Let's run the test case. Test case is passed.